Hello, I'm Stephen Mason and welcome to the Death of the Video Shop rant. Now this was filmed about 6 weeks ago and last night I sat down and went, right, I'll quickly do that, and I realised I talked for 35 minutes. So you're in for a long one, but if you like VHS like I do and collecting VHS, I'm going to go on an epic rant about the stories. Now, last night I was thinking, right, all I need to do is watch it and make sure I don't need to edit little any bits and it's a quick easy render, upload, chuck it out there. And I went, hang on a minute, I talk about a map of Consett. So quickly this morning I had a look online and was like, right, okay, Google Earth and all that, and I went, hang on a minute, I'm not talking about now, am I? I'm talking nearly 15 years ago about video shops. So I decided today to draw a map off the top of my own head. So that is my map of Consett. Just lay down. Well done, Stephen. So I'm going to keep on appearing for this video, holding this up. I'll not be talking, but I'll just be doing the same thing. I'll just be holding it and try and work out what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's Consett then, with some jokes, and I'll be back in the outtakes for it. Okay, you ready? Sorry about the jump cut. Put it down on the floor there. Get ready for the death of a video shop. Hello, I'm Stephen Mason. This is one of them videos where it's just a story, so it's an epic unplanned rant. Apologies in the background, my computer is mastering one of my podcasts. I'm just standing around waiting. Well, I'm sitting on it. So, I'm a massive fan and love and collector of VHS. You can see it behind us. So, I was born in '83, so I'm a product of VHS. VHS has been around for a long time, still there, still highly collectible. You only buy some good stuff. But times have changed, and like, I mean, the other day my Blu-ray player broke, and I just went to put it on, and the laser had burnt out, and I was like, wow, you know, and I got that angry at it because like I'd literally all day, this is pretty much what had happened. The gas man came to fix the gas in the electric meter. He said he was going to be here at a certain time. He turned up in that window at the last second before I was just like, where the fuck are you at? And then when he was doing that, the other guy rang us about ventilation. So literally my entire day was spent waiting around for people. Waiting and then waiting for them to finish their work. And when I went to go to bed, I just needed a nap, I was fucking knackered. And boom, bang, crash, while the fucking Blu-ray players in play. Punched the VHS so hard it actually got wedged. Now it's a good job I had two VHSs. Shouldn't have lost my temper, but again I was so tired. Still hanging from Sunday night as well. But this rant's been on my head for a while. And I just use my time now to kill. We've still got to wait 30% from the video, so I'll have a rant. Now, when I was a kid, I was told that I had dyslexia. Maybe I just needed a bit more attention because I, funny enough, have had stuff published. Writing, fair enough, my grammar and the thus and the theirs and the, you know, them ones get you. You know, oh, they should have an apostrophe there. It needs 3 dots after it. Whatever. I don't, you know, grammar. So I don't do English literature. So I grew up watching films a lot, and I want to base this story on Consett. Now, I wrote Death of a Video Shop probably about 5 years ago now, and I don't think it was ever really published the way I wanted, so I want to do this rant now to rant about it and then revisit what I wrote and maybe publish it a bit like one of Killian's books, you know, so that's the plan anyway. But this is just based on VHS, from my opinion, from my small town in Consett and also New Zealand. So it's like I've got a weird twist here. So in Consett back in the day, there was a massive appeal for video. You didn't have digital downloads, you didn't have wireless, you had piracy. Remember, piracy funds terrorism. Says no goods, mate. It's not worth the paper it's printed on. That's oral contract. You know, especially what was the other guy? When you rent or buy a video, you need to be sure that the person using it is suitable for the one at home. Like the old school VHS, you remember that guy with the glasses on. So anyway, VHSs. So basically, the rise of VHS was pretty big, and you know, home cinema, and VHS came along, and it was quite big boxes. So originally, what had happened, a lot of people, corner shops, buying it, and I just had a crap VHS before. I don't know what I've done with it. It's still handy. Is it? No, I had it. No, it is. It's still handy. No, it's gone. No, yes, it is. Sorry. Raising Arizona. So I just watched this tonight, and that is £1 for rent a night, and you would have to pay £50 a unit for this VHS, right? Okay, so there we go. It's very crusty. So it was released in 1987. You pay £15 per unit. So basically, people were basically in corner shops out of licenses getting a few VHSs, but it was hard to keep the demand because it's £50 a fucking VHS. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, £1 a night, you rent it out 50 nights, you've broke even, and then after that it's profit. And that was it, corner shops. And then my granddad at the time as well used to do the videos in the back of the cars. We used to go around and actually like door-to-door video rental, because the demand was massive and it was on the rise. But that's it, again, people want to watch the next film, but then it's waiting demand, it's not like click and go and buy. So it wasn't long before it went mainstream. Now the first mainstream video shop in Consett was Ritz, and it was on Front Street. So there's Front Street and Middle Street of Consett, and Consett's an old steel town. You know, there's steel all over the world, from even the Titanic was made of Consett steel, and the rise of it was massive. Now VHS came along with Ritz. Ritz was based on the Front Street. Now hopefully there's going to be a map over the top of us. The map should be there now. If not, I'm going to draw it if I can't find a believable map. So Ritz was on the Front Street of Consett, and it was very small. And I remember going in, and they literally, because they didn't have the room, they just had it from floor to ceiling. Plastic VHSs where they're on the side. Take it to the counter, get the copy, go home. And I just remember Ritz, you know, just towering. I always remember Predator 2. Now, it's why Predator 2 always lingers high in my collection, because I just remember Predator 2 always staring down at us. You know, the films you can't have because the higher the armor. But like, Ritz was tiny. I mean, Ritz was probably 3 times bigger in this room. It wasn't big, because you've got to think about it. It's not like a, you know, like a disc. You know what I mean? If you got, this is why this is so handy to sit here and do this. So basically, if you've got all this on the shop floor, and then you've got all these in the back, and you have to match them up to lend them out, you know, you need double the storage. You can't just take a disc out and just file it on a shelf, you know what I mean? It's going to be a tricky, you need double storage. Well, that's what happens. So anyway, Ritz was there, and it's weird actually, because I remember Ritz expanding. They like knocked a hole through, and I remember going, whoa, it's like a hidden door. I've had frequent reminder dreams about video shops. But Ritz was tiny, and it's weird because Ritz is now Madison's, and Madison's is a cafe, and again you go into Madison's and it's like, whoa, this is a bit small. And then they've got that back room what they opened, and then there's a massive yard out the back, and you think, well, if you were really serious and you're open for expansion, you had a lot of room to play with out the back. But again, Ritz stuck around for a while. Yellow branding with red writing, right next to Woolworths. I was saying that was Ritz, and that was on the Front Street of Consett. Now, the next one to come along was Titles, and Titles was located at the other side of Consett, so the map should be back. So Titles opened up, and my mum taking us, well, there's a new video shop opened, and you walk in, that it was fucking massive. Like literally, like you walked in, and unlike Ritz, when you walked through the door and there was the counter straight away, and there was your VHSs, and you could literally fall over and touch either side of the room. Titles was huge, and you walked in and the counter was all the way at the back, and to get there was just VHS everywhere. And Titles, I think, were the first ones to even establish games, like Mega Drive games, N64 games they did as well, but Mega Drive games were always there, and rent them out. And they had the facility for the bigger expansion, but they had loads, absolutely loads. And like, unlike Ritz, who struggled for space and would sell through their stock, Titles just had this massive cluster of VHSs, big boxes, you name it, and place to store it. So now you've got 2 video shops in Consett. So the door-to-door video guy, like my granddad, jobs and all that, went there. Less and less video shops remained in off licenses. Little corner ones, you know, somewhere like down in Black Hill and Bridge Hill, little corner shop might do, and maybe it's top 50, which they would probably have a deal with whoever the supplier was to not buy them, just to stock them, kind of thing. But again, who wants to be like trying to sell alcohol and all that kinds of stuff, then go chasing somebody who hasn't brought a VHS back? I mean, you know what I mean? It's like people, I mean, this guy, whoever got this off, this guy obviously never returned it. This isn't me, by the way. Yeah, Michael Collins. So you had 2 video shops in Consett. So at this point, DVD's coming along, and a 3rd video shop opens in Consett. Now, Consett Old Bus Stand got demolished, and then there was this massive, big $1 million bus stand, which was appalling at first. Bus stand, but then you had massive units. You had Argos come to Consett, you had Iceland come to Consett, you had Lidl come to Consett, and Global came to Consett as well. And this, the map is back again, yeah, is right bang in the middle. So by this point, I think Ritz had been taken over by Blockbuster. So we had a Blockbuster in Consett. So we have Blockbuster, Global, and Titles. And what Global brought to the thing was just seemed very polished. Blockbuster being like the American name, you know, Blockbuster and all that kind of stuff. Again, struggled with space. But again, now, it wasn't like you had to go and book a video for Friday night or take a chance when they came out, because if they didn't have it, Blockbuster would have it. Blockbuster didn't have it, Titles would have it. So you could never like. It was like, even when Titanic came out, it was a case of like you could get Titanic wherever you went. It wasn't, you know what I mean. It was oversaturated. So you've got this sort of battle going on. Blockbuster steady away, Titles, you know, independent, Global comes in, and then it's DVD, and this is what sort of started to break everything, because not only we had the shift to DVD, and you had the phasing and VHS going out, as well as games. People like Titles couldn't do this. Blockbuster didn't have the room, so Blockbuster needed to make the quick switch, but then couldn't. You know, where Titles and Global, because Global was, when you walked into Global, it was just a massive, it had no character, sorry Beryl, but it was a massive square, fitted wall to wall, but then I think half of Global was like open windows, so like you could see in Global quite quickly, and like you had your little higgly metally like wired shelves and all that. And they did the thing where they would have the VHS behind it, and you're like, yes, I want that one. I was fucking, there's no VHS behind it, so it's rented out. See, that's what they would do. Again, it was all panogrammed and stuff like that. I mean, I once bought a VHS from Titles and I couldn't even find the box, and I remember finding it about a year later. They had that many VHSs. I was like, I bought this a year ago, can I have the box now? And they're like, fine, yeah. So anyway, you've got Global, right bang in the middle, Titles, and Blockbuster. Now, the first one to go was Blockbuster, and one of the best things Global had going for them, now back to the map, is Blockbuster was on Front Street. Well, there's about 5 parking spaces on Front Street. One of them's disabled now, one of them's loading. So basically, if you need to go to the video shop, there's nowhere to park. Titles, there's about 3 spaces outside. Now, this isn't just going in to browse and look for a film for a Friday night. This is literally having to being able to drop it off. That's the big problem. You know what I mean? It's almost like, it's just crazy. It's just like if someone had came up with the idea of like, right, here's a standard VHS, put it in the post box and return it to Global. You know what I mean? But like that was it. You had fines, and people were like, oh, I can't be asked to get a fine, or I can't be bothered, I'll get a fine, I'll not bother, I didn't get one, and that kind of stuff. Global, on the other hand, not only had a through road with a couple of spaces, especially like a drop off, get out, jump in there, they also had the car park, which Iceland and Lidl had. So you also like, yeah, just go to Global and get parked, you know what I mean? So that's where Global really started to make an impact. And Blockbuster just gave up one day. Now there's a Blockbuster at Chester Street which survived to the very end, till Blockbuster was fully gone. So they just pulled out, you know, oversaturated market. You know, Global came in like a fucking absolute juggernaut. Had all the new releases. Because you know, you go in and like there's so much new releases coming out now, especially because of DVD. You know, like if you take a VHS, you've got to record in real time and then wait. You know what I mean? It's like that's why it took 6 months to a year to come out. You know what I mean? Because it's on an hour and a half, right? You're gonna have to wait an hour and a half for one VHS. That shot wants 10 VHSs. How long are you going to wait? Oh, it's just a case of click, burn, gone. You know, it's completely different. The process is different. So yeah, Blockbuster went. Wasn't ashamed for it to go. Don't really have any familiar staff there as well. They're all, you know, they had a massive catalogue of titles, but they just went, nah, well, this, because there was a global opening up in Chester Street as well, another big one, but there wasn't the titles, so you had that independent cut in, so they just went, nah, they just haven't got room to expand. They had to move, and Global got the best location, so that's why Blockbuster went. So it goes down to Global and Titles, and then Titles definitely felt the pinch, and Titles renamed itself to Hollywood Entertainment, and I think that's when the fucking shit really went downhill. Because Titles had something about it. When you used to go in, you used to have Chris's photocopy shop on the left, and you used to have the old guy from the old bus stand before it got knocked down, who had all the comic books, and you go in there, it was just comic books before the time of comic books, you know, like being big, and it was just like, this guy was you still see him now and again on a bike, but then you go into Titles, and it was like, there's the video shop. And the downfall of Titles, they changed to Hollywood Entertainment, and they lost the good stuff. The stuff that used to have some common sense, gone. It was a real shame to watch the downfall of Titles. See, like, they changed it. They put the counter at the front. They made this little shitty boxy counter in a little back room. They then took away a corner of the shop for birthday cards. I'm just going to get a film and a birthday card. Okay. They then cut off a quarter of the store for alcohol, and became an off license, selling alcohol and cigarettes in Maltesers, and they were feeling the pinch, but they had to counterbalance it. That's fair enough. Now, I used to work for Titles, and I've got a lot to say about Titles. So Global is making a kill. Global's getting all the new releases. Global's trekking on games. Global's doing DVD. Global phased out VHS. Okay, that's what you do. Titles, on the other hand, or Hollywood Entertainment, had this massive refit, and it was totally not designed to be a video shop. From the lack walling to the just common blind spots they made. I mean, the old shop, yes, they had a couple of blind spots, but they put this new counter in, which was just ridiculous. They tried the drop in the box, the VHSs. Yeah, you've got a fine. See you later. I'm never coming back. You gonna do anything about that? No. Okay. They then sectioned off a quarter of the shop to very early Love Film, you know. So they were starting to invest in that, and that's when they went wrong, because basically they were spending all the profits on that and renting films out like a Love to Shop, but you couldn't rent anything in the shop. So when I went to work there, I was just like, the fuck are you guys doing here? Like, there was no like love for videos. There's no love for this. This does not look like a video shop. This is an off license. Going back to the day when you had a couple of VHSs in the corner, this is what this is. It's an overexposed waste of a space. Like, where's the movie posters? Where's the posters off the reps? Where's the advertisement for film companies? Where's the fucking new release? And they just didn't give a fuck. Like they were more concerned about losing alcohol. Asking if someone's nicking alcohol, then you could do something about it. Or you think a member of staff's nicking alcohol, do you? Well, why do you have to do a stock count every night on the end of the shift? You have to count every single alcohol product. Why? It's just like, oh my god, there was so many things fucking broken with that shop. But the biggest downfall of it was that they started to do a naughty. So basically, going back to, you would buy that. So basically what they started doing is stop getting the new releases in, to cut budget. And basically what they would do is, on a Monday morning, when new releases come out, like yourself would have to go to a local supermarket and buy the top new films, no matter what they were. You had a budget of about £100 on a Monday. Just go out, get the new ones, make sure you get that one. Okay, alright, like, go to HMV and get some proper films. No, like, just go and get what Morrison's got and then get the shop home. So on a Monday morning, you're like creating catalogue numbers for all these films, barcodes in it and all that, and people are coming in, oh, is this film out? And I get, well, I'm just processing it there, take this the sticker off. And it was just wrong. I didn't like it, and it's one of the reasons I left. Even though I got in a blatant argument, and they said, oh, you shouldn't work here anymore. I was like, you shouldn't be fucking running the shop. End of story. So anyway, that's what was going on. So basically what they were doing is, you had a film in section A and a film in section B. Now a film in section A, you tried before you buyed. But you had to rent something from B. Now you had to tell somebody this. The guy just wanted something from A, he wants a new Matrix movie. Just for example, Matrix. But yeah, you'll have to rent something from B. I don't want anything from B, I want to rent the Matrix. Well, you're not renting that, you're trying it before you buy it, because when you put it on, it will say, did you rent this film? Because that's what they're doing. Instead of spending £50 to £60 per unit, they were going out spending £9.99 and charging people £3 to rent the movie. And people were like, I don't want this other movie. Now fair enough, you go in there, you get one free, but it was just so horrible. Do you know what I mean? There's no trailers on, there's no advertisement if you don't do stuff like that, and it's just shit. It's shit, and the fact that when Global would sell their X rentals, you would go along there and you would replace them. So all the films in section A that now Global are selling X rental would go into section B from Global, and the ones from section A they would sell on the cheap through the website. Like cutting corners, you're going to get caught sooner or later. So that was it. After that they shut, and it wasn't that much longer. I mean, some of the staff were absolute morons, to be honest with you, but they lost all the good stuff. And common sense comes in. If you're going to work in any form of film, at least have anything. Have passion. I mean, like, when I would go and work in a shoe shop, right, I'd be walking around with a hole in my shoe for about 4 days. Look, like I didn't have any socks on the other day, and I looked like Big Trouble Little China. My toe was like starting to poke out. God, I was like, ish. But you know, you have a little bit of passion. So Titles, Hollywood Entertainment, shut. And again though, I felt sorry, because what they did as well, they took their VHSs, they would rent out to people all the DVDs, and they would slap it all the way around with adverts. And charge people ridiculous amounts of money a month for adverts. And you know, like, I was like, well, it's smart, but why don't you advertise your new videos? But yeah, the whole fucking alcohol thing and all that, and just a waste. So that went. It's now cash converters, and cash converters have completely like chopped the whole fucking thing in half. The back room of cash converters must be pretty big, to be honest with you. And then Global, and Global sitting there, and Global was like, you know, like, digital hadn't happened. The film was going on Netflix, was on the rise, it was happening, but it was too much piracy. Like, so many people, as soon as DVD was invented, and as soon as the internet became, how to say, you couldn't just really copy a VHS, could you? Quickly plug in and burn. VHS, you know, like, was anti-piracy, because I don't think people would be asked, but people downloaded and streaming, and like, that was it. But that opened the way for like, alright, so if people can download and stream it to the house, why don't we just make a download streaming site where we make the money off it and you get the money, and then, you know what I mean, independents just get fucked. And you know, again, Netflix is born from some guy getting a fine at Blockbusters. That's how it all started. The ridiculous fines. You didn't bring that back, we charge you, whatever. Then, one day, Global was shut. Like, literally, no one. Administration, boom. I felt sorry for Beryl, Ed, all the people that like got to know there. They were dead canny and just gone. Not even to clear out, to shut the doors. It's now bookies. And now we have no video shops on Consett. You know, that's it. It's gone. But like on the other side of the world, so when I was 14 I went to New Zealand for the first time. So when I was 15 I went back to New Zealand on my own, as long as playing Flight and Ride, because like planes now, again, technology in the back of your fucking screen and all that. Then it's itemised, like this will be playing, that will be playing, the one in-flight movie will be played at such and such. The nearest screen is right down there, and the nearest screen there is there, and you're like, oh, this is going to be interesting, isn't it? So yeah, that was it. But when I got to New Zealand, it was really weird for us, and there's a bit of passion, because you go from, you had Global Titles and all that over there, and I'm a big fan of movies, especially the two Corys, and the two Corys are a little bit more popular in New Zealand, especially some of the movies you couldn't get. And Motueka is such a small town, it's just one road, and they got everything, you know. But they had two video shops. One was an independent one, which was so long and narrow, you went in and it was like proper dingy. It was a VHS shop to me. It had the old posters over the top of the old posters. It had the quirky staff who's the owner, you know, and you go to the back room, you got the porn, and well, like it was narrow, quirky, but they had a few titles. But then they had another one down the road called United Video, and that was totally American. You drive in, loads of places to park, double story, big lights, fucking beaming. This is a video shop. Like, okay, and you go in there, and like when I lived there, like Frighteners was coming out. It was Peter Jackson's movie, and it was huge. Fled was coming out. Cuffs had a different cover. It's the first shop I found Dream Machine in to actually hold and go, wow, you know, and watch it. The little independent shop did 5 movies. But again, that goes back to when I was filming. If you haven't heard that story before, like my stepmom was just like, there's a mountain outside the back door and you're sitting watching movies. I was watching stuff like Trespass, The Crow, Mosquitoes Coast, you know what I mean. There's loads of films that wasn't available in England that these shops were doing. I was like, right, yeah, I kind of see your point, there's a mountain out there, but they're like, take the video camera. I was like, yeah, you like films, take that. And I took the camera out, and that's how I ended up started filming. Sheer fact that I wasn't allowed to like watch movies, so I'd go out and make my own movies and daft stuff and collect VHSs. I hope that home videotape still exists in New Zealand, which I'll probably get next year when I'm back down. Back down, it's just like a trip down the road. So yeah, so they had their 2 video shops there. Now the video shop United Video burnt down when I was there. Nothing to do with me, but yeah, I don't know what happened to that, but it went up in smoke. And then I think another one got torched. I think there was a video torture. Check Nelson News. Motueka News, 1996. VHS shops burning. Yeah, that's definitely in the archives somewhere for someone's newspaper. So yeah, anyway, the next major town over is Nelson. Now that's where my parents live now, and I remember a couple of ones. There's like United Video, but I remember one called Video Village, and fuck my life, it was like a supermarket. A fucking supermarket. Sorry, I'm just on the computer. It was like a fucking supermarket. You went in, it was just like, fuck me, it's huge. Rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of just VHS and DVDs. And that's the first ever time I seen watches. It's walking along, bottom shelf, there it is, watches. It's got the UK DVD cover on, not that shitty UK one. And again, though, wanting to rent some there and happened to get the Motueka in Nelson, which is about a 45-minute drive. Okay, only got to rent a few. Bordello of Blood came out at that point as well, another Corey Feldman movie, and I wasn't allowed to rent it because I was old enough, you know. Like concert shop, video shops didn't care, especially titles, didn't give a fuck about the age, and it was huge. And years later, about 10 years later, when I was back in New Zealand, I remember just walking around Nelson all day. There wasn't a fucking video shop anywhere. And I remember one day me and Sam were just hanging out, and I just happened to look and I was like, is that Video Village? And I don't remember it being over here, and Video Village was still there 10 years later. And I just remember walking in, and watches was still on that bottom shelf. Even though I'd brought it back here, they replaced it and it was still sitting there. I was like, oh, it's unbelievable. Now the rumours are it's still there. Sod's law is when I get there in February it'll not be there, so I mentioned Video Village, but it was fucking huge. Motueka as well, going back 10 years later, they had 2 brand new DVD shops and they were across the road from each other. Like literally, like McDonald's and McDowell's across the road, just fucking battling it out. United Video and all that, and you go in and a lot of the covers are different names, but then there's a lot of different availability. Sign of the Times and stuff like that. But even going back to like living in Spain, video shops there was always a mass appeal for films. I mean, I just love owning something, going in and making my judgment of whoever drew the artwork. Right, what's that about? Ah, give that a go. Not click, 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 click. Films recommended for you. No, no, no. Films you might like. No, no, no. Go to search Christian Slater. Fucking hell, that's on there. I want to watch that. Could have sat there for hours just flicking through and never would have said, oh, there's a Christian Slater film on there you might like. But yeah, let's just say the downfall of VHS. I wrote that, you know, a story and called it Death of the Video Shop. It got published. And again, sitting down, ranting, just talking the story, why my computer sorts its life out. The idea of doing that and doing, like, telling these stories, like the story of Britbo or the story of Buskers, and just having a good old rant. But sharing your love for VHS. So I've been collecting them for a long, long time. A lot of these will be from Titles Global. Blockbuster. You know, there's some old ones, there's some rare ones. Sidekick just fell on the floor. 187 there. This film was £2 per night. Like, fucking hell, man. Really? Again, that's what the big boxes are. Big advertisement. But again, when you're buying the VHSs, like 6 months later after they've been out, you wanted small VHSs. But yeah, I think that's it. I'll see you in the outtakes. Right, one of the outtakes is not me telling the story of the Maltesers, but check out Baboonry Malteser story, because that actually happened in titles. That that fucking packet of Maltesers, but no, video shops. There's just a long lost love there, isn't there? Even when you see it in Scream, Lost Boys, Last Action Hero. I just love like how Champion Video is doing, and Video Hoarders, even the Video Club on Facebook. There's a massive love for VHS still. There is some absolute nerds, like, and I'm not saying in a good way as well. I mean, there's a few people, I mean, I don't get wrong, I don't dislike anyone, but there's a few people, when you start talking VHS to somebody and they get really weird about it, you think, it's just a VHS. Like, calm down. Seriously, calm the fuck down. But yeah, there's some, VHS brings out the best, but then you got amazing stuff like Thomas Hodge, who did the video cassette cover artwork, where you just open it up and it's just got all the artwork. I'm pulling it there, but oh, it's coming. It's right there. This book here. This is an outstanding read. It's just got, you know, going through what the classic artwork is. Something that you just don't get on Netflix now. You get like a nice little thumb sale. Normally it's got nothing to do with who the star is or whatever, and it's just whoosh. Yeah, great books like that. There's just some love and there's just a lot of passion for VHS. Well, I've been Steve Mason. This has been the story of breaking films on the floor. Story about VHS video shops. Death of the video shop in digital. Face form. Wow. But yeah, just a little standard. There's Mortal Kombat big box. There's Ghost in the Darkness. There's an ingoing joke at the moment. I cannot find Fifth Element in here. I found Dr. Morbid, but I'm just saying, I was talking on the podcast the other night for Mortal Kombat, which is just rendered. I was like, I've got the big box around here somewhere. It's right there. I can see it with Broken Arrow, White Christmas, Masters of the Universe, Jerry Maguire, Dragon Heart, Red Heat, Conan, 7, Money Train, Shawshank Redemption, Bean, Ace Ventura, Terminator 2, Tusks, Beverly Hills Cop, The Gay Divorce, Universal Soldier, The Full Monty, The Lost Boys, Small Box Edition, Jack Frost, Stronghold, Ninja Hunt, Fallen, Dick Tracy, Jumanji, Warwax, Gotlicker, Future Sport, Congo, Sinbad, 40 Days of Night, Lethal Weapon 1, 2, 3, 4, St James's Park, got that off Mark Emerson I think, thanks Mark for all the VHSs again. The Blair Witch, Transformers, Cyber Rush, Jackass the Movie, Most Wanted, Jurassic Park, and the list goes on and on. I've been Steve Mason, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, goodbye for now. So hello, here we are on the outtakes. So this is the map I've drawn today. This was printed on the back of today's playlist for National Album Day, where we had Liam Carr play with Beth McCary and the Mitch Sladdy. Adam kept this for souvenir and I just need a bit of paper. I drew this off of the top of my head on it, so it's quite mental to think about. So here we go there. This is like looking down a bird's eye view of Consett. So you got Steeltown Music right there, the home of Matthew Connor. We've got nostalgia stuff like Ross Records, Barry's Bargains has to be in there. We've got car parks here, car parks there. We've got DIY shops, we've got Max, we've got the Turf, we've got Chaplin's, we've got Decades, we've got the Empire, we've got Spoons, we've got the bus station, we've got Juggers on there, we've got the world's most pointless bike path that is now gone, which apparently cost £4 to put in, just so you can overtake somebody. It literally is from here to the end of the wall, like a little U. It's pointless. There was an article about the paper. But yeah, I just literally just laid down, got a ruler, outlined everything I can. I think I get a bit, because started over here, by the time I get this bit, I didn't get Middle Street perfect, but there's blueprint for disaster. So now I just need to film a little bit and point out that's titles, that's global, and that's Ritz Blockbuster. I'm Steve Mason, thanks for watching this, goodbye for now.
And now, the end is here.